Hi guys, it's Arienne here from Life is Crafted, and I'm doing this video today to introduce you to the very much anticipated mid-year dotty range. So this is the range that I've done from 2013 to 2014, starting in the middle of the year. So really great for a new academic year, or just if you need a little bit of a fresh start. Now, these are not just normal planner pages. If you've been reading my site or reading the things that I write, you know that it's much more than just a planner. It's really a way of life. A lot of the pages that I've included in the range have templates to do with goal planning, visioning your life, bringing the planning and the important things into your everyday so you can really start to live the life that you want. And having it in a gorgeous diary format is just such an uplifting way. The pages are designed in such a way that I love to use them. And I've heard from many of you that this is the first planner that you have used over a longer time that you just can't get enough of, and you'd wish you'd started earlier. And thank you for that feedback, because it really just makes me keep on going and creating a range that I know can add value to your life if you use the pages. So this video is about the A5 range. So I have introduced some folders into the range this year. So you can either just buy the refills, so if you have your own folder, your own Filofax for example, or if you want to give it as a gift to somebody or you need a new folder, there's some here. And the colors and everything are on the site. But this, green, blue, hot pink, light pink, red, black, there is a range of them. So this is the A5 folder in hot pink, one of my favorite colors. Clashes a little bit with my red lipstick today, but it's all bright here. It's a bit of a dreary day outside here in Sydney. It's a little bit cold. We're in the middle of winter, unlike for you guys in the Northern Hemisphere if you're watching. We're at summertime. But yeah, so the folders are a PU, so it's non-leather, but it has a really nice soft feel to it. It has a little button clasp there, and opening up to the front page, there is a little sleeve. Ooh, so I've just put some post-it notes in there, little pocket there, and then you've got 4 credit card compartments, and one with a clear plastic thing, and I've just got my little, oh, can you see it? Life-typed life manifesto in there. So as a nice reminder. I'm just moving into these pages because I've just received my own. Here is the cover for the 2013-14 from July to June next year. But just going back to the folder, the back, that's where the lovely pen holder is, right? And you've obviously got the rings in the middle. So I mostly have weekly pages in here, but the Life is Crafted Dotty Mid-Year range comes in both an A5 day per page and an A5 week on 2 pages. But the intro pages, the planning pages, and the list pages are the same. And I've got a couple of the daily pages in here, so I can show you the detail of what is on them. So, squidge up a little bit. It's got a gorgeous quote on there to help you craft your life. You get a personalized cover page when you get the planner, so I do it up with whatever name you'd like there. So obviously this is mine, so my name's up on there. Then you've got the normal cover. La la la. The personal information page. So in case of emergency contact, if somebody finds it, a little bit about Life is Crafted. You've got the important contacts page. So you can keep a few there. Most of the time you've got them on your phone, but sometimes when your phone battery dies and you never dial anybody's phone number anymore and you need to have a little bit of a reminder if you're out and about, this is a place where you can put a handful of those important numbers and addresses. The password reminders page. So this really, we've got so many passwords nowadays. It's just a little bit of a place where you can jog your memory. I don't recommend writing out your passwords in full, obviously, because if you lose it accidentally, you wouldn't want people to have access. So whether you just write in shorthand or anything along those lines, this is a great place. I refer to this on a daily basis because, you know, it's accounts from eBay to Pinterest to, you know, bank account bits and pieces. So really great page to have that in. Then accounts and info. So sometimes it's the serial number of something or an account number that you need to refer to on a regular basis. So once again, you get 2 of those pages. Nice little notes page there. And then this is one of my favorites if you've seen my other videos, goal summary. So just a place that you can do a little shorthand of some of your major goals for the year with your intention for the year in the middle. This is something that I refer to every day. It just sets the tone for the day and keeps me focused on my big picture. Because, you know, when you go about everyday life sometimes, it's, you know, all the little things, all the little details catch up with you. I've got to make that phone call, I've got to send that email, I've got to laundry, shopping, do this, do that. This helps you step back a little bit and go, okay, what am I really working towards? And if you don't currently have any goals written out, I so strongly recommend nutting out a few, because it just adds a lot of flavor to your life, some clarity and direction. And major thing, what I've learned now, is when you know where you want to go, when you know what you want, and then opportunities or things that you need to make decisions over come up, it is a lot easier to make that decision because you can see which one will be more or less helpful to getting you to where you want to go. So just a bit of an aside, but that's how I feel. It's awesome having goals. So yeah, so this is something that you can read every day if you want to. Then this is a newer thing in the media range, is a place to nut out what your ideal day is. So your ideal day is, you know, if it's time, money, you know, all these limitations weren't an issue, how would you want to spend a day? Your ideal perfect day. And it asks you, I've got some instructions up the top there to go into detail about it. Who are you with? Where are you? What do you see when you look out the window? How are you feeling? What are you looking forward to? That type of thing. Then we've got another one of my favorites, the master to-do list. So one thing I've changed up this year is that I have got, some people need a little bit more space to write. So I've got 2 columns here, and then over on the other side, I've got a 4-column one. And there's a few pages of the master to-do list. And this is really where I put a lot of the one day, someday, things I need to do, but it doesn't really fit in with this week or this month. When ideas come up, it's great to be able to put them somewhere, right? Otherwise, you're writing them down on scraps of paper and then you don't know where the scraps of paper is, or you don't write it down and then you forget that really great idea you had, or that great thing to do that would really help you. So this is where I would recommend putting it. You can just do it either willy-nilly, so just, you know, jot things down as they come up. What I like to do is, because there's a few pages, I categorize each page into a higher level activity. So if I have an idea that comes up around the house, so, you know, stuff to do around the house, stuff that I want to buy. Oh, one day I'd like to create a meditation corner, something like that. I'd label the top of the page house and put the stuff down there. Or it could be finances, or it could be work, or it could be health-related stuff. So that's one way to use it. So a few pages of the master to-do list. Now, the goal planning page. Woo, reflection. Goal planning page. So I have had some really great feedback about this. It's a bit of a template of how to nut out a goal. So it makes you get specific, it makes you get into detail. Sometimes when we have a goal that we'd like to work towards, there is obstacles or challenges that could come up, and it helps you nut through those, because if you go into doing something and you're just going, it's all going to be plain sailing, the minute some oops, or some speed hump comes along, it can really just take away a lot of your energy and a lot of your enthusiasm for it. So trying to think of some of the challenges that come up beforehand and how you can overcome those obstacles will actually make the whole journey a lot more doable. So yeah, so if you nutted out a goal there with all the details and there's some steps that you can do towards the goal, that's when you would transfer that over to the goal summary page. And then after the goal planning, we have got the project planning. So sometimes goals can then be broken down into lots of mini projects if it's a big goal, or you might have a project that's coming up at work or at uni that have multiple steps. This is a great place to nut some of that out. And then you can refer back to that place when you are carrying out the projects and doing the lovely thing that us planning people often love to do, ticking things off and crossing them off. After the project planning, we have got, so a few pages of that, the routines. So I've kept this page pretty much the same as previously. It's just what do you need to do on a regular basis? And that can be daily, weekly, fortnightly, monthly, and I've got a few different time frames there that you could be reminded of. So it's everything from I need to go to the dentist, get my teeth cleaned, I wash the car on a monthly basis, I clean out my clothes every year. So things like that you can add onto there. And then when you're doing one of your reviews, you can refer back to that page and go, yeah, it's time to do one of the things there. And then I've got this style of the routine page. So this is a week overview. And what I've done is you can have like a daily checklist, and then you've got Monday to Sunday there, and then morning, afternoon, evening. So this could just be a template that helps you with an overview of what you need or want to do with your week. Once again, just a nice reminder. I like having things organized like that, slotted in like that. It just helps me plan my week a lot easier. And then I make sure that the important things that need to be done, and they're important because I thought of them, put them onto here, it's more likely to get done, right? So yeah, so there's a few pages of that. And then we come to the special dates to remember. So this is a perpetual calendar that you can take with you from year to year, planner to planner. And it's just a few pages of the months and days and so on. And this is where you would put important reminders of birthdays and anniversaries. Nice, huh? Then of course we've got the overviews of the years. I've got it from 2012 to 2015. And that'll be here before we know it, won't it? So yeah. And then we get into the calendaring section. So this first page is a to schedule page. So this is before you're starting the year. You're like, okay, so this year I want to have a holiday. I want to be able to take some time out for myself. I need to be able to schedule in things like my spring cleaning. Whatever happens on a regular basis for the year ahead that you'd like to schedule in, this is a place where you can brainstorm everything. Then we go into the year planner. So obviously because it's starting mid-year, I've started over here with July 2013, and then it goes across to June 2014. Okay, so one of the wonderful things I've been so excited about introducing to the range is the tabs. Now I had tabs before that I would print out on heavier cardstock, but then I'd cut them out myself and everything like that. Now I've had them professionally printed, and the tab part has a lovely plastic backing to it, so it's a lot more durable. And they have turned out absolutely beautifully. And once again, this is something that you can take from planner to planner, year to year, whenever you need to. And I've updated a lot of the quotes. So if you had the quotes from last year, there are a few more coming in. So for example, this is the July tab. So they come in sort of a bank of 6, but you've got 12 all up in there. And look at the gorgeous colors. Yeah. So on the front side, it's July. Nice and exciting. And then turning over, you've got a gorgeous quote there. And if I can read backwards on this, life was meant to be lived. Curiosity must be kept alive. Okay, I can't read it that way. So curiosity must be kept alive. One must never, for whatever reason, turn his back on life. And that's by Eleanor Roosevelt. So throughout the, on the back side of every tab, you have a gorgeous, life uplifting, life enhancing, positive productivity-inducing quotation. So we're getting into the calendar pages now, and what I am really excited about using is at the beginning of each month, before the month on 2 page overview, I have the monthly dreams page. So I have added a few more things in beforehand to it, and it's really just to help you think a little bit more specifically perhaps about what you want to do, be, or have in the month coming up ahead. So what's written there is, what are the 3 most important things to do this month? And that keeps you really focused on, okay, if I can't do anything else because of all the distractions and you know, things that come up, what are the 3 most important things I want to accomplish? Note them down there. Areas of life to focus on this month. So, you know, you might be really have been a bit out of balance and you've been neglecting either your health or your finances or your career growth, for example. This can just give you a place where you're like, okay, this month I really want to focus on my health. Who do I want to be, or how do I want to feel this month? Yeah? It sounds like an easy question, but when you really think about it, it can be really powerful. Yeah? And then it's my other glorious dreams for this month. So the other bits and pieces that you want to do. And then down the bottom, I've got a little bit of a reminder, a bit of a tick-off list of what you might want to do for that month in regards to planning and so on. So it's got review the master to-do list and projects and move items to this month. So those pages that we were looking at before, you want to be reviewing on a regular basis. And so just a reminder to look at them and move things into July, for example, and then you can tick that off. Transfer important dates, reminders and birthdays to this month. So you will go to your special dates to remember, for example, and transfer it across. And the third checklist is read over goals, and if they're still rocking you, transfer some activities over. See, so all the pages link together a little bit in that way. Now, this is the month on 2 pages. I've just started to move in here a little bit. So I've got a few of the events and activities coming up for this month. It's another place for a quote there. And then I used to have lines down here, but I thought they were a little bit restrictive. So it's just some blank space. So you can either doodle or just jot down a few notes. So it goes from Monday to Sunday, and there's quite a decent amount of space for you to write things there. So that's the month on 2 pages. Then we have the week on 2 pages. So if you get the week on 2 pages starter pack, this is what you'll be getting. So not much change from beforehand. You've got the blank area, so I've just written some stuff in there, but you've got the blank lines up the top. You've got Monday to Sunday here, and they're appointments, more or less, and they go from 8 a.m., but there is a blank space up there. So in case you have an earlier appointment or you need to pick somebody up from the airport, you can jot that in there, and it goes to 8 p.m., right? And then down in this column, so for the Monday, what are the 3 things I must do today? So just like we had the 3 things must do this month, what are the 3 things I must do today? Here's a place for more to-dos, and then down here is the remember one. So if you need to remember that it's somebody's birthday on that day, that's the place to jot it. If you remember that there is a bill due or the rent due that day, that's a nice place to put it. I also use that for if something really cool happens that day, something out of the usual. I either hit a goal or, you know, for example, when I launched the range, I wrote down here, launch the range. So when I flip back through the pages in months to come, years to come, I remember that day. So yeah, now there are different ways that people use the top here. The way I use it is, for me, they are the to-dos for this week, and I categorize them by different areas. So I've got personal here, errands, who I need to contact, and then because I've got a few different businesses and bits and pieces, that's how I've broken up the other pages. For other people, they're really focused on their health, for example, so they may have a health column. So what do I need to do for my health? Or finances, or there might be a specific project they're working on or study, and they'll dedicate a column to that. That may change from week to week for you, or month to month, or year to year, but it's a really flexible way to move forward. I've got another girlfriend who uses it because she has a lot of to-dos, and so she uses this column as the massive to-do for the Monday, or she just uses it for notes. So it's up to you. It's a nice flexible layout. And then of course over this side, I've got what's the goal for this week. So you might have an overarching goal that keeps you motivated throughout the 7 days. Then you've got the notes part, so just a place to jot stuff down, and then down the bottom, you've got the for later. And the for later is really useful for me because I come up with lots of ideas, and instead of having to flip back over to the master to-do list to put them in there, I write them down here and then transfer them back later. So then July keeps going, and those are the weekly pages. Now, the other pack in the A5 is the day per page, and I've got a couple in here to show you. One way I use them is that I have really, really busy days sometimes with lots of appointments, lots of to-dos, and I will use both the weekly and the daily pages. So what I do generally is I've got the weekly pages of the months here, and then I'll have another ruler so I can flip back and forth quite easily between that and the daily page. Okay, so this is an example of a day per page. So you can see up the top there, the reminders. So once again, it's where you might put the birthdays or the due date for something. Then underneath that, you've got the 3 most important things. You've got a list for to-dos, notes, and then the appointments. There's a little bit more space here. So I've started at 6 a.m. and gone to 8 p.m. And there's 2 lines per hour. And once again, in case you have a really super early appointment before 6 a.m. for you, you do have space for it there. And even after 8 p.m. there's space down the bottom for it. And then I've got tracking. The lights. So a lot of people like to keep records of stuff, right? So whether it's the amount of water drunk, the number of minutes exercised that day, maybe you might be tracking some weight loss, or you might be tracking the height growth of your kids. Whatever it is, there's a little space down there that you can use to track that stuff. Now, there is another one I've just drawn up on another one. I've just added some extra lines. Now, I drew them in myself, but once again, these planner pages are really flexible as to how you want to use them, right? So you might have quite a lot of to-dos and smaller handwriting, like me. I've just put the to-do list into 2, so I've got 2 columns now, right? Another thing that I like to do with the appointments is I like to try to plan my day. So while I might have specific appointments, so it might be a meeting with somebody or a coffee and this with somebody else, I can put them in there. But down here, planning the day. So I might be going, okay, from here to here, I need to spend time responding to emails. From here to here, I need to put aside some time to plan the 2014 range, for example. So it's just dividing up a column to make it more useful for me. The other thing is you might want more space for notes and less to-dos. I mean, just write over stuff. So there are completely different ways, and it's totally up to you. I just wanted to provide some guidelines. Some of these things I find are really important in regards to productivity and making things happen. So that's why it's so important for me to have the 3 most important tasks. Yeah? Cool. Okay, at the end of each month then, just like you've got the monthly dreams to plan for the month ahead, at the end of the month, I've created a month in review page. So there we go, month in review. And once again, I've created some things to prompt your ideas, prompt your memory, and really it's a snapshot of the month that has just finished. And so when you're flipping back through your planner pages, you'll be able to see really easily the important or exciting things that happened. So on here, I've got what were the highlights of the month? What was something I learned? What are the activities that I did? What are the events I attended? Things I'm crazy in love with right now. So you know there's like a song that you're really loving and it's on the radio and it really was a soundtrack of your life for that month. That's the place to put it. Or you've been wearing your crazy new red boots all the time and that was really a flavor of the month for you. Write that down there. And isn't it nice then when you flip back and be able to go, yeah, I remember that. Oh yeah, that was such a great time. Also then have one thing to stop doing and one thing to start doing. So there's a lot that we can do in our lives sometimes that we feel like we have to do, we must do. We're doing things for other people, or we're spending too much time doing something, it's really negatively affecting the rest of your life. So what's one thing that you can stop doing? Might be a small thing, might be a big thing. And then what can I start doing? You know, what's one thing that would really make a massive difference to my life if I started to do it? Whether it's, I don't know, meditating for a minute a day, spending 5 minutes decluttering at the end of each day. Something that's aligned to who you are and what you want and where you're going, that's going to help. And then while I've got that gratitude list at the end, what's 3 things that I was really grateful for this month? Right? And then down here, once again, just like in the monthly dreams, a few planning checklist bits and pieces. So the first one I've got, move incomplete items to the next month or master list. So, you know, sometimes we all have to-dos that we don't do. So this is just a reminder to move them across if it's still valid. Transfer important notes and dates to relevant areas. So sometimes things come up or you've jotted down something really important and it might get lost in your planner pages when you archive them. So it's a reminder to transfer them to somewhere, whether it's, I don't know, your important accounts and information list or master to-do list, so that it can be a place where you can easily refer to them. And then tick off the monthly dreams, things you did at the beginning, tick them off, and celebrate my wins. Life charges on a lot very quickly sometimes, and we sometimes just forget to stop and breathe and give ourselves a pat on the back and go, yes, you did it. So I believe that's really important. Now over here, it's a place for you to rank yourself, become aware, review the different areas of life and where you are out of 10. This sometimes is just a snapshot of going, okay, so this month, where am I at with my health out of 10? Where am I at with my finances, love, family, social, giving back, self, career, fun, hobbies, interests, spirituality, and personal development? Now, there might be some months where you're like, everything's, you know, really good and coming together and I'm feeling pretty high in all those areas. Other months you might be like, I haven't done anything for my health. I've been so busy with my business stuff or my career stuff. I just haven't spent any time on me or growing or with my family. And this will be able to just highlight what's going on. And then when you go to the monthly dreams page again, remember how we had the area of life to focus on? So yeah, you're like, okay, well this month I really do want to spend a bit more time with my family or my friends. And you can set that intention. So can you see how these are much more than just planner pages? It really is a way to craft your life, and I'm sure you see how passionate I am about that, and that's why I've created the pages the way I have. And then so of course you've got the different tabs for the different months. Look how beautiful they are. Gorgeous colors. So, and then towards the back, this is where we have all those lovely list pages. So most of them are the same. I've just updated them with a little bit of instructions or whatever, just to be clear then of how you can use them. But remember, this is your planner, so you can use it however you want. It's just a little bit of a guideline. So we've got the gratitude list, things I'm grateful for. We've got the life highlights. So what are some standout moments that have happened in your life? Life lessons. What insight did I gain? What aha moment did I have? What penny dropped to me that I'm like, yeah, okay, I can see why that horribly horrendous bad thing happened. It was here to teach me a lesson. this is the place to capture what those lessons are. The I did it page. So this is all about accomplishments. So I hit that goal. I came first in my class. I got a great commendation for a product I did, or a drama class. So I completed that manuscript. Then we've got the things I love about me. Yeah, I know it sounds cheesy, but what are some traits about yourself that you love about yourself? Because self-love is really important, right? If you can't love yourself, how can you expect other people to love you? So it could be something, you know, small, like I love my smile. I like the way I'm a great friend to others. I'm a great daughter. And if it's really hard for you to think, what do I love about myself? What would your family and friends say they love about you? Yeah, that might be a bit easier. On the other side of that is the lift up page. So I just got a really nice bit of feedback the other day that this has really helped a mum with her toddler. So sometimes when it's just a bit of a hard day, or, you know, it's a bit challenging, what are some activities that you can brainstorm beforehand that will make you feel better if you do them? And I've done I think I did a video about this just recently. And some of mine were like, dancing around to loud music, going for a walk, playing with my dog. What picks you up? And then down the bottom is who's my support network. And I just give you some prompts there. And that's Charlie Bear in the background. Thanks for all your wishes. She's a lot better now, but I'm also keeping in mind that she is a 21-year-old cat and her time may come soon. But for now, she's walking again and she still likes to beg for food. So that was her little meows in the background if you heard that. Okay, nearing the end, the wish list. What are things that you want for yourself? What are things that you could tell people if your mum or your partner goes, what do you want for your birthday? Instead of going blank when they ask, here's the list to put it on. Then we've got the gift list. So when you come across something in the shops or online that you're like, that would be great for the boyfriend, or that would be great for my sister, or that'd be great for my bestie, this is the place to note it down. So, books to read, films and TV shows to watch, music to listen to, websites to visit, my people, list of friends and networks that you want to make sure that you are keeping in contact with, the Go Local pages. So where in your local area, whether it's your town, your suburb, your city, do you want to visit? The restaurants, the special parks, the different events and activities. This is the place to put it. So when you are a bit at a loss on a weekend or a long weekend about what to do, where to go, you can refer to it here. And then similarly, but probably a little bit more on a travel basis, whether it's traveling interstate or to the country or out of the country, what are the places that you want to see around the world? Then we've got the bucket list, which I really don't like the word the bucket list, but people are going, oh, I don't know what the life list is. So I've just kind of explained it there, and it is 101 fabulous things to do in my life. So different places, events, and I've put that over 2 pages now. And then we go into the blank list. So you probably have your own wants for what a list is, and I've just done a blank one there. So whether it's like wines to taste or, I don't know, recipes to cook or crafts to make, whatever you want, I've got pages there, and then we've got the lovely notes page. So that is the A5 Dotty mid-year range, optional with the folder, lovely folder. It comes with tabs, so it comes with everything that you saw in there, but it's either the weekly or the daily page. I am so excited to send them off to those of you who have purchased so far, and I've got a limited quantity because I could only print a certain amount, and so if you'd like it, get in there. Any questions, please let me know. I respond to every email I get. And thanks for listening. I hope you're liking the pages. I hope you got some inspiration out of them. And life is crafted. Craft yours. Thanks.